All right. Yes. Welcome to the D3 broadcast, the Zoom Racing League. We're in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and it's going to be a good one. I am Lee Hall. Joined with me is Jack Fletcher and Sid.
How's it going, everybody?
Welcome to the stream, guys.
Yeah, super excited here for this Division 3 race at Brazil. We got a really close battle with Axelez and OG as the top of the driver's standings. And we had a really good race last week. So Brazil always delivers, in my opinion, in terms of good racing. So I'm really excited to see how they get on today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a really fun track, really technical in the middle sector, and fast and high speed in the first sector and the third sector.
No doubt. We've got some connection issue maybe for OG, but everyone else seems to be doing fine out on the track. So let's see what we can see. Kyle Desmond on a hot lap here in the McLaren. Going through sector 2 right now. There's a bit of track in front of him, but might be all right. It's a short lap here. You've got 36 laps. Jack, what do you think about the strategy here? They're all on softs. But is there a place to start on the mediums and do a one-stop, or is a two-stop a necessity here in Brazil?
I actually haven't done myself a race simulation yet. I haven't decided, but I think if I remember correctly, it's just a basic soft to medium race. I'm not sure the medium to soft is going to be very powerful here, but we'll see. Maybe they'll prove me wrong.
All right, we've got Axelize in the Ferrari, putting in a 107.8. That is, well, it's Division 3. I'm expecting those times to come down, though, Sid. What do you think?
A 107.8 is, I think, pretty quick for his first run because the tire hasn't been rubbered in yet. So that's a pretty good time. It should be enough to get him in the top 10 at least.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah, you might be right. As the 109s are coming in, although Nux 33 with a 107.8 takes the top spot in the Haas.
Yeah, beat him by half a tenth.
That is a nice gap there between the top two and everyone else. They might want to think about the mediums. Oh, are we not live? Well, I have no idea whether or not we're live. Hopefully we are.
Yeah, we're live.
We are.
We're
okay,
live.
Great.
We're live.
Duncan
Okay,
didn't think so,
false
but
alarm.
nonetheless, we are live. And there's a Haas right behind Raz here. And are they both on a hot lap? And making this awkward for whoever's trying to go again. Is that Flosy? It is. No, he comes into the pits, so no worries anyway. But we've got most of the drivers with a time now, Sid.
I think Flosy got blocked there, so he just abandoned the lap. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate if it's the case. Nonetheless, drivers in the 107s have got to be feeling good about their position. BuzzGod has joined their ranks while we were on board with another driver. Meanwhile, Raz on a hot lap here. He's got no ERS left, though, as he really misses the apex on that corner.
He's invalidated this lap, so...
oh, you're correct. Thank you, Jack.
No worries. I was just following along there with Marino. He seemed to be up on his time. Oh, it looks like he's going into the pitch just as I say that, so obviously something happened there at the end of the lap. Let's see, who else is out there right now?
We've got Cushy in the Ferrari coming across the line, starting his hot lap. We'll ride on board. It is his first hot lap of the session. Have to be careful because OG is coming out of the pits. He's avoided him just fine, though. So the end of Sector 1, Cushy sets a 17-0. That's a pretty good time, Sector 1 for Division 3, I think.
Yep, that is the fastest Sector 1 we've seen so far. He did go wide coming out of turn 5, seemed to get away with it. Didn't get a track limits. Just got to keep the rest of the lap tidy now, as he hasn't even set a banker yet.
No, he's got plenty of time to do so. More than 11 minutes remaining in the session. But this is shaping up to be a pretty good lap if he can keep it up. Almost dips into the grass there. Probably could have taken a little bit more track there to produce some more momentum, but he's going to cross the line. DRS is open. Going to be in the 108s. 108.9. That is only good enough for 11th. The time's starting to come down here. Meanwhile, OG is going to start his hot lap. But I don't think he realizes he's got ERS off.
Oh, wow, yeah. You're right.
Yep.
He's probably wondering why he's going so slow, Sid. Is that a mistake you've ever made?
I believe I have made it once or twice in my early days.
Well, OG is a fan favorite, so hopefully the chat can will him to realize, you know, he needs to activate that ERS button. The battery not draining whatsoever in the Red Bull. Although, if he sets a fast lap, what a legend he will become.
The TRS could gain him like half a second. That's how powerful it is.
He's definitely off the pace now. I think he might have just got told that, and he's going to get reset and get ready to get going again here.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe he'll just say he was just warming up the tires. Meanwhile, right behind him, Yuki Snoodu has invalidated his lap, yet to set a time. The only other driver yet to set a time. Nux still occupying the top spot as Yuki goes into the pits. 107.8. We have not seen anyone beat that, although Kyle Desmond has put in a 107.9, takes P4. Domman P5 in the 108. So the top 4 drivers, the only ones thus far into the 107s. And we're back on board with OG in Sector 2.
Yeah. Now his battery is draining. Yeah.
Yeah, as you can see, already in the 50%. So battery making a big difference.
Yeah. So I believe that the Red Bull team was trying to make the car lighter by burning some fuel.
Oh, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
OG is disconnected. I was wondering why we went
Yeah,
off board
we just
with
lost
him.
Oh, wow.
That is unfortunate. He's having some connection issues. Meanwhile, Kyle Desmond in the McLaren appears to be gearing up for another run. Battery is fully charged, and he rounds the last real corner in these modern Formula One cars. No, he is not accelerating.
Yeah.
Instead, it's
So I think
Flosy.
he's in a box.
Blows by him. He's on mediums. Flosy's on mediums. His soft lap, oh, he almost spun there in the Haas. His soft time was a 108.875. I don't know, Jack. Is this a time that can be improved on the mediums? Maybe he just had a bad lap on the softs? What's his thought here?
Again, I haven't done much testing with the mediums to the softs, so I'm not sure how big the speed difference is. I mean, if I was him sitting P12, you know, on the mediums, I would. Everyone else is on the softs. I would just go on the softs, and he's probably bound for.
Oh my
P6,
goodness!
P7.
I think B-Bry just he either spun or took very drastic measures to get out of Flosy's way. There, we saw in front of him the Alpine flying off the track into the grass.
That must have been a bit distracting for Flosy.
Absolutely. He's already off the pace, so I don't think he's going to be able to improve on this 108, and he knows he's not already coming into the pits. We'll check on B-Bry.
Yeah, the delta is like, the medium tires are almost a second slower, so I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, you've got to have some serious pace to make that strategy work. B-Bry comes in the pit, so Buffalo Trace in the Alfa Romeo is coming around. I believe he's on a hot lap. No, maybe not. No fuel, and there is a car right behind him as he almost goes off the track. Who is that? Is that K-Seb? It is. Hopefully he's not
he's
on a
on
hot
a-
lap.
No, he's on a burner. He's getting ready to get going here.
All right, K-Seb in P5, 1080, looking to improve that time and push himself farther up the order. He's going to get a little bit of a tow here, maybe. No, he's going to come into the pits, so instead...
It's falling
Barney.
along here. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Barney is coming across the line. Does not improve. He's a 10th down, unfortunately, on his time. Still, P7, 1083. Sorry, Jack, go ahead.
Buzzgod setting the fastest Sector 1 of the day right now. Looking really clean through Sector 2. Just about to come across the Sector 2 timing line now. We'll see where he's at. And he's up, and he's going to be ahead of Nux here.
I believe this might be the provisional pole lap time.
I think
Absolutely.
you might be right.
Great call, Jack. He was already 3/10 up as he rounded the last corner. And here it is. 107.5 is your provisional pole. It's Buzzgod in the Red Bull.
Yep, the Red Bull team looking strong this weekend. Already
Absolutely.
leading the Constructors' Championship. They're in a good position right now.
I
And
believe you're... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, OG is uncharacteristically unable to put in a lap, although he's had the connection issues. So the Red Bull team just need to get him present to continue their winning ways.
Just another driver who seems to be improving here. Dominant Man on his time coming across the Sector 2 line. Looks like he's just going to be up. And he's going to go
Oh.
around with the commentator's curse. So I'm very sorry about that, Dominant Man. But he's going to keep all the bits on it, return to pits. He'll be able to get in and get another lap in for sure.
Yeah, he needs to get a move on though. There's 4 minutes left in the session.
And now there's some traffic there. Approaching the start-finish line, that makes it very awkward. Most of those drivers going to the pits, though. What can Nux do? Is he starting a hot lap? I believe he is. Can he take back pole? It's 3/10 the difference between Nux and Buzzgod now.
Very interesting, slightly different line coming out of that final corner, or that final, what corner is that? Excuse me. Corner 3 there. Didn't take the esports line, but still up on their time.
Nux
He
was
is.
purple in the first sector.
He did.
Looking
We
good.
saw it flash purple, you're right, Sid, on the minimap. And so Nux needs to keep this up. What can he do? Sector 2, as you mentioned, Sid, is the technical sector. What do you think of the line he just took through those that corner there?
It looked tidy enough to me. We'll see how the timing sheet says.
It's
All
not
right.
going to be enough.
It is an improvement, but not good enough for pole as of now. But let's see. Even a front row start would be a very good position to be in at this track.
That is correct. He does improve, but not by much. But that still might be very important because you've got Raz and Axelized right on his heels. And now he puts a little more distance between them. Who can we hop on board with here?
Having a peek here at Axelized, your current championship leader over OG. Gonna already set a lap on those tires. Gonna see if they can get it together this lap. Looking strong through Sector 1. Gonna keep the nice and tight line to shorten, or maybe not. Gonna swing out a little bit. See how their Sector 1 is pretty much right on the marks. Gonna have to find some magic here in Sector 2.
Yeah, it seems like depending on your setup, there is significant time to be gained or lost depending on which sector you want to be in. And Marino picks up a 5-place grid penalty for blocking.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Penalty for that.
Yeah. Usually it's a penalty for collisions.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he did.
Axeli's going a quarter second up. Definitely going to improve here. Looking to take that P2 spot.
Yeah, as you said, the sector 2 is really important for this lap. It
Oh,
can make
man.
or break the pole position time.
Great lap from Axelize, 107.68, and that is going to put him on the front row alongside BuzzGod, who seems to have pole position unless somebody can pull off something miraculous. Nobody yet setting a good enough time on the medium tire to start off with that. We got a McLaren coming right behind Axelize. It's Barney. I don't believe he's on a hot lap. If he is, he's out of battery.
No, I believe he might be on a cooldown lap.
Kaseb just stuck at P4. Nicely done. Got a really strong sector 2 there.
Absolutely. Raz is coming around in the Aston Martin. Let's see if he can improve. He almost bangs the wall, and he does improve up to P3, 107.699, just barely breaking into the 107.6s. It's going to put him right behind BuzzGod.
Yep, the track is definitely getting faster as it gets more rubber on the ground.
Kyle Desmond coming across the line just a second here, looking to improve. He might be able to sneak in front of Kaseb here.
Oh, and Barney is out of the session. Currently P7. I think he was on the way into the pits.
I think he might have pulled over and retired there, but
Oh, you might be
Yeah.
right. Hopefully there was not an accident. As BuzzGod improves again, 107.4.
BuzzGod looking pretty strong this weekend.
We're on board
Looking
with
forward to see what he
Axelize.
can do.
And the session is over. Who is yet to put in a lap? It's Kaseb. And that's it. Unless Yuki has anything to say.
Yuki?
He does not. He comes into the pit. So that is it. BuzzGod on pole in the Red Bull. Axelized in P2. Raz in the Aston Martin. P3. Nux, who had pole for a long time in this session, down to P4. Still a good lap. Kaseb, Kyle Desmond, 2 McLarens back-to-back in P6, P7 with Barney lining up alongside Dominman in P8, Siggy in P9, and rounding up the top 10, it's Marino in the Alpine. Anything surprise you about this order, Jack?
yeah, I mean, I don't mean to call him out, but OG's down there in P18. You're currently P2 in the points. I guess he just, couldn't get it together by that lap time. Just doesn't look like he really got a lap in at all. So he's gonna have some work to do to try and get up there with Axelize and stay in front, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sid, you have any idea what the drivers through P11 through P18 should be doing as far as tire strategy? Should they start on medium? Should they start on hards? I imagine it's definitely a one-stop scenario, but you also don't want to fall too far behind on the slower tire, right?
Yeah, if it was me, I would definitely go on to the medium tires. Those are much better as a race tire.
Speaking of starting slow, it's Toto Rivas here. Hey, we've had an issue with the lobby, so we're going to actually have to break it and remake it. So we're going to go to a slight intermission here on the broadcast, and we will be back shortly.
And we are back. And we've got a formation lap for you. The drivers have assembled on the grid. We're going to go right into the race. Had a player who needed to join, actually 2 players who have ended up joining. Now we've got a full grid of 20 drivers. Both of them starting from the back. Katanko in the Alfa Romeo and Sargento de Paz in the Mercedes going to be starting from the back. So OG, a little less work to do than maybe he would have thought in the Red Bull.
He gets moved out 2 places.
Absolutely. As Buzzgod leads him around, already a decent gap between Raz and Nux. Nux may be thinking a little strategically here.
Yeah, we haven't really talked much about Raz, I don't think. He was actually a little bit down on the driver standings here, so really a good job sticking at P3. Hopefully having a big points day today for that Aston Martin team.
Yeah, it's always good to see new people up there on the top 3. Makes the league more exciting.
Absolutely. There's really not anyone who is very close to their teammate other than, the McLarens, who are obviously right next to each other, and then the Alpines. But outside of that, it's a very spotty field as far as constructors' standings. But all that's going to change in just a minute as these drivers go to their starting places on the grid.
So who do you think, what's your prediction for the top 3 this week?
I definitely think that Buzzgod has the pace. I expect him to stay P1 the entirety of the race, basically. But 2 and 3, I have no idea. It could be anyone. Axelize has shown some good pace, but I wouldn't be surprised if OG, starting on the mediums, is just able to make up enough raw pace to get into the top 5. I'm not sure a podium is in the cards, because starting from P18 is not easy, but Siggy's also got some pace. I would expect him to see better than P9 in the standings.
Yeah, keep an eye out on Siggy.
5 lights, and they're away. It's a pretty good start from Axelized, but Buzzgod holds him off. Kaseb is right there. Cushy already falling down the order. I think we've got a crash, and it is Cushy. He's spun around. I don't know if there was contact.
Kaseb had a look at the inside Axelites there. Turn 1 through 2 and 3 looked pretty clean. I did say a McLaren gets squeezed and ended up getting ghosted. So luckily avoiding a pretty big accident there, but mostly for the top 6, everybody seemed to get through pretty cleanly.
Bibra has retired from the session. This could be interesting.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
He's out of the
Today's
session.
might look at that.
Yeah.
If he need a safety car or not.
His car, somebody else is also stopped on track. That is Cushy again,
that's
having
Cushy.
an awful start.
Yeah, tires must be really hot after that spin.
Meanwhile, Buzzgod staying in P1. It's Kaseb fighting Nux, and Raz has already lost a place here.
Yeah, he lost a couple of places from lap 1. Trying to get them back, dumping all his battery.
Absolutely, already down to under half. As Kaseb,
Wow.
nearly contact there, and Raz runs very wide. And Nux, crashes into the
no.
barrier.
Unfortunate for Nux, he might have to replace that front wing.
Yeah, she's got a long way to go to get around the track, unfortunately. But looked like a little bit of a chain reaction between Kaseb and Raz, as we saw, had to kind of make a little bit of avoiding action there. Just a racing incident by the looks of things. As crucially here, Axelized hanging on the back of Buzzgoddess. I believe we're going to get DRS this time around. So this definitely is sort of one of those tracks you do get those DRS trains forming. So that's going to be pretty critical.
Absolutely, he's within 5/10. So plenty of distance. DRS is enabled. And Buzzgod's going to have some work to do to defend.
Yeah, Buzzgod is going to have to drain a lot more of his battery. And Axelize can just sit behind him and sit in the slipstream, save his battery, and mount an attack when he feels it's the right time.
Absolutely. It seems like he's definitely holding him up. Maybe Buzzgod doesn't have the pace that Axelize has. Meanwhile, both of them have built a gap to Raz in P3, already at 2 seconds. So it seems like this might turn into a 2-horse race pretty quickly, unless Raz can get on the throttle.
I believe Siggy is being held up behind the Aston Martins and KSEP.
He's going to try to get into DRS range, and he will. Of
Already under
KSEP.
10%.
Yeah, he has burned all of his battery to do so.
Does he get DRS? I believe he gets it.
He did, and so not using the battery there, but not much to use. Unfortunately for him, KSEB also has it on Raz, so as long as Raz can keep the pace up, Siggy is going to be hurting, but he did start in P9, so already up to P5 is good progress for him. Meanwhile, OG on the mediums, working his way up the field. Marino sets the fastest lap with a 109.7 already.
Yeah, my wildcard picks for this race are OG and Flossie on the medium tires. The alternate strategy can be really good if you can pull it off.
Surprised more of them did not start on mediums down the order. But OG having to defend against Buffalo behind him. Meanwhile, back up front, it's Axelized. Gonna get the DRS. Can he do the overtake? He's got plenty of battery, not even needing to use it. Axelized, he's not even gonna try to overtake here. On Buzzgod, maybe thinks he can get him on the first DRS zone of the track. Coming up here in just a second.
It's gonna be interesting to see if Axelize wants Buzzgod to, just to keep going, get run away from these P3 to down guys here, just to see if they can get away, break away, and not give the P3 down the advantage of the DRS, right?
Well, that's a great point, Jack, and it must be the plan because Buzzgod also not really using his battery here, so Buzzgod was perfectly fine with Axelize taking the place from him. Neither one of them wants to lead this race, perhaps.
Yeah, being in the lead is really, really heavy on the ERS. I believe that's why neither of them want to be leading.
We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2, and it is quickly cleared, so no lasting impact from that. No safety car coming up.
Yeah, Barney went for a little bit of a lazy spin there, didn't seem to hit anything, so.
Also, Dominant Man on the hard tires. He might have had an early incident.
No overtake attempt again from Axelize, but it's KSEB up to P3 around Raz. So he's got that position back from the Aston Martin.
Raz is going to have the run and the DRS going to go around the inside here. KSEB.
They're wheel to wheel.
That is the preferred line. See if KSEB get the switch back. Not going to be able to get it done. He's going to have to sit behind Raz here till the front straightaway, it looks like.
KSEB does have a big battery advantage. Raz under 10%.
Absolutely. KSEB has him right where he wants him. I imagine he gets the move done again down the long start-finish line DRS. Meanwhile, the McLarens have fallen down in the order. Kyle Desmond and Barney fallen from the mid top 10s all the way to P11 and P13. Been a struggle for McLaren today.
Not having a great race.
Nux picks up a 3-second time penalty. His race continuing to deteriorate. He had such great pace in qualifying, but not able to keep it together here in the race.
Yep, had an early incident on lap 2. Had to change the front wing. Now it's a battle to catch back up to the field.
And naturally, as you push like that, it's going to really, affect your driving style. You feel like you need to cut more corners and push harder and harder to make up the time. But sometimes when you do that, you get a time penalty. It's really self-destructive.
Yeah, when you push 100%, you have a lot more potential for mistakes, which is not a good thing in racing.
Abrams picks up a 3-second time penalty. Meanwhile, Katanko and Yuki Tsunoda have made up some good places here. P8 and P7 for them. 3.
We want to talk about gaining places. I called him out in the beginning for his qualifying efforts, but OG is up to P10 on the medium tires, and he's closing on Buffalo Trace as he actually just passed him, I believe. Yeah, looks like Buffalo went around a little bit of a lazy spin there coming out of the final corner.
Yep, got the yellow
But,
flag.
He's on the alternate strategy and moving his way up the field, so he's looking really, really hot right now.
Meanwhile, Axel Eyes right on Buzzgod's tail still this whole time. Siggy gets a 30-second time penalty, so that is pretty meaningful. So 2 drivers in the top 5 with time penalties. Can the other drivers keep it clean and take advantage? Oh! Axel Eyes running very wide there. Great save, but he lost a few tenths to Buzzgod. If he had plans to overtake him on the straight, they have quickly been scrapped.
I think Axel is just trying to sit in the slipstream for this first stint and maybe try to get an overtake in the second stint of the race. Keysep still stuck behind Raz. Probably gonna try and move down this second DRS straight.
Yeah, it looks like it's proving to be hard to pass out there. I've seen KSAB make about 3 attempts and just kind of back out of it. I know it's early days here, but it's as we do have a spin coming out of the final corner. Who's that?
As Dominies hit the wall in Sector 2, both Alpines separately having issues here. Dominman down to P18, and he's got a broken wing.
Yeah, he started on the softs, went on the hard tires, and now he has to pit again. Not a great race for Roman, man.
Yeah, that's one to forget about for Dominman. Unfortunately, had some promise in qualifying, but in the end, his race is effectively over here without a safety car.
Yeah, he's gonna need some miracles to get back into the race.
Yeah, you said it has proved difficult to overtake. Sector 2 really does back the driver behind up. You really have to respect the driver in front of you. And that ends up creating a sort of a natural gap that is difficult. You use the start-finish straight to try and narrow it down, but it might not be enough usually for some of these drivers to overtake completely. Staying with the car ahead of you in Sector 2 is just proving very difficult indeed.
Well, just having a peek here, we got a kind of a grouping of about 2 drivers through first through 7th here. And it seems like the leader of the group has basically no ERS, and the car following is pretty much fully charged up. So maybe some guys taking some not super aggressive strategies and kind of just waiting it out, you know?
Yeah, we are approaching lap 11 here as Buzzgod is going to pass the start-finish line. They're going to start to think of when to pit. Still no battery deployment from Axel Eyes. He's content with P2 at the moment. Meanwhile, it's Sylvain who's wheel-to-wheel with Siggy. And he's going to get the overtake done.
Ziggy's a tough racer. I think he's going to fight him back here with the DRS. He's got plenty of overtake, more than Sylvain here. I think he's just going to be a little bit too far back to fight back.
Yeah, Sylvain taking that defensive line, moved over a little bit and made sure that Siggy wouldn't dive into the inside. And he's up to P5. Meanwhile, it's OG on the mediums. Plenty of life left on those tires. He's got the overtake done on Yuki Tsunoda. Up to P8 for someone who started in P18. OG absolutely doing work out here today.
Ziggy's still right on the back of Sylvain here. I think he's gonna try to see if he can make the move. Yeah, I think he's going for it.
Slavine
Slavine
just
gonna move.
vacates the premises. It's a defensive line. Siggy gonna try for the switchback. Slavine is a very slow line through there. And now he's really cost himself because Siggy is gonna get the DRS here. Slavine has used all his battery. Oh, but Siggy decides against diving up the inside. Slavine, good defensive driving there, Jack.
I think Ziggy purposely didn't pass him there, and I'm not really too sure why.
Well, he
I
is.
don't know. Maybe
He's
waiting
building
for
up
the
his
front
battery.
stretch.
Yeah. He's building up his battery. Whereas Slavine is he's got much less battery than Siggy.
There's definitely a strategy going on out there that I don't know about. So
But you're right. I would have thought that was a pretty clean opportunity to get an overtake done for Siggy, but maybe he just doesn't want to go back and forth with Slavine or Slavine. And K-Seb is the first to pit off the soft tires here after 13 laps. It seems a bit early, doesn't it? Especially since we remade the lobby. And he didn't have to qualify on those tires, Jack.
I do see Cushy on the fresh set of mediums and Buffalo Trace on his fresh set, and Yuki gone onto hards. I think that might have been a mistake. So I don't know. Maybe like I said, I still haven't seen the tire information. I haven't seen the Amazon prompt thing show up either. So I think you might be right. I think that might be a little bit early. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, if you want to
I
get a
believe
one-stop
it's
done, go ahead, Sid.
Yeah, I believe it's a bit early for the medium tires, but if you go onto the hards now, you can definitely make it to the end. But he might be trying to get an undercut in and maybe hope for a late safety car to get on the softs again at the end.
Speaking of that, Sid, we're on board with Axelize here in P2. Still not using his battery. Just happy. Oh, now he's on the battery. He's going to make an overtake here. Wheel to wheel with Buzzcott. Oh, and he pushes him off the track. Buzzcott can't be happy about that. Will he come back at him here?
Yeah, Buzzcott using his ERS now, trying to get back, trying to repay the favor.
And he will.
Down the inside, yeah.
What I was going to ask you, Sid, is which one of these two is going to blink first? Which one should blink first as far as going for the undercut on the other and getting off those soft tires?
I believe it might be Axelized who pits first, trying to get the undercut on Buzzcott, maybe get out of that DRS. Because he definitely has the pace. He's been sticking behind him all race long. And it's not easy to stick behind someone that close.
That's true. He has been very consistently right behind Buzzcott and may prove he's got the superior outright pace.
Having a little peek here, Buzzcott does have slightly more wear than Axelized by about 10%. So Axelized being a little bit nicer at his tires here.
10% makes a huge difference in terms of how the car feels. So
That's like a lap, yeah.
Axelized is going to be feeling comfortable in his cockpit right now.
And he's on the battery, but then thinks better of it. I'm not sure he's going to have enough. He's not even going to go for it. Slavine in up to P3, but he's got a 3-second time penalty added to his total. So he'll have that to deal with. Meanwhile, he got a yellow flag in Sector 2. It's a Williams of Babrams. He went around. Not sure he's got damage. He does have some wing damage. The front right wing is damaged. So that's unfortunate for the Williams driver, as he'll have to pit again. And it was about time to pit off those softs, but still.
As Buzzcott goes into the pits and Axelize's going to stay out. Kyle Desmond's going to stay out. Let's see if Slavine comes in. Doesn't look like he's going to, so very interesting here. Buzzcott going on to the mediums.
Yeah, boxing on lap 15, that's an interesting strategy call. He's gonna have to take care of the tires at the end of the stint.
Yeah,
I would
absolutely.
disagree. You make the softs to you make the softs all the way last to lap 16. I think the mediums should be able to stretch 20 laps.
Absolutely. I'm a little surprised they didn't go earlier, in fact, but maybe
Yeah.
they
You're
got
right.
plenty of life on the soft still if they feel comfortable and quick on the tires.
I mean, Imola last week proved the medium tire kind of seemed to be the more racy tire. Like it had the life, and it also wasn't too much slower than the soft. So
Siggy
we'll
and
see how the mediums out
Slovene
here.
passing Dahmen Man. He's got the blue flags, but it must be awkward trying to follow two cars at once for Siggy.
Yeah, Siggy up into the podium places. Still hasn't stopped. Gets the
As
benefit of
Axel
the
Ice comes in
DRS.
now. Sorry, Sid.
Axel Ice, yep, he doesn't want the undercut to be too bad on him.
But on the medium tires for Axelized, where is he going to come out?
As Buzzcott passes right by.
Oh, it's going to be a little close. Looks like Buzzcot's just going to be a little bit ahead. Seems the undercut has worked.
Yes, it
But
has.
he's a second clear. If he can maintain this gap, then he can. He's in a good position right now.
Meanwhile, Raz has kind of caught up. He was farther behind the top two, I believe, when he pitted, but now just 2 seconds behind Axelized. So maybe some potential ground to make up for him. OG up to P5 on those old medium tires. Obviously, he'll drop down the places when he stops, but still, it's a nice recovery drive from OG, who wasn't really able to set a qualifying lap, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, all the way from P18 to P5. That's a pretty good drive.
Yes, it is. Axelized already cutting into Buzzcott. He's got 2/10 on him since they pitted, basically, but there's a yellow flag in Sector 2. It's Katanko, and he's crashed
Safety
out of the
car. Wow.
race.
I was literally
Safety
just
car.
about to say a safety car would throw a wrench in this whole thing, and it just has. So
OG is in a great spot right now to box. But he will have to nurse those soft tires for 18 laps. So that's going to be a real tough job.
yeah,
Or he
Ziggy
could
just
go
kind
to
of
the
had a
hards.
blessing then.
Yeah, Sigi in the pits right now. Moving to the hard tires.
Now, Sid? Do you think the hards are the move? Did you not think the mediums could make it the rest of the way?
I
Or
think the mediums could have made it to the end of the race right now. That might have been a mistake from the Mercedes crew.
yeah, and that's crucial because he pitted right when the safety car came out. So if he would have, I mean, maybe he knows something we don't, but if he would have swapped onto the mediums, that would have seemed like a golden opportunity because he effectively served his pit stop under yellow. You know.
For sure.
Yeah, as you were just saying, it's going to be interesting. The guys with the penalties are really going to be kicking themselves that they went wide in whatever area they went in. Oh no, OG's got us speeding under the safety car drive-through penalty. Obviously, that cannot be served during the safety car. That's going to really ruin OG's race. Oh, what a terrible penalty to get.
I had just jumped on board with him about a second before that happened, and he wasn't moving at all. He was almost at a complete stop. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think OG knows that because he's in the pits, although I guess he's going to get rid of those old softs. He is, yes. So it's a good time to pit for him, but he's got the drive-through, which is absolutely brutal.
Yeah. In a hurry to get to the pits to try to make up some positions. And unfortunately gets a drive through.
That's killer.
So he's got another recovery drive to do on those softs. He's essentially going to go right to the back of the grid again after he serves his drive-through once the safety car is ended. Meanwhile, you've got to say Flosie's got to be in a pretty good position here. Fresh set of softs, and once he gets up to the snake of the safety car pack, maybe the softs he's going to be the only driver within striking distance on softs. Is that going to give him enough pace to make his way up through the field? Additionally, he's got no penalties, so potential for Flosi to climb up the ranks.
Yeah, well, I mean, we
Definitely.
just saw the softs can go about 16 laps, so by the time this safety car is probably done, we're going to be pretty much right at that.
That's right, Jack, and you've got lower fuel in the car by now as well, so I don't think there's really any question that the softs will be able to get to the end as a technical matter, but he's going to have some work to get through Kyle Desmond and Siggy in front of him. Oh, and Buzzgod has a
Buzzgod.
5-second time penalty for ignoring the yellow flags. I don't know how you get that. He's just following the safety car.
There have
Not
been some
there's
weird penalties this week.
there's something going on because Dominant Man's if we follow along with Cushy, Dominant Man and Cushy are P15, P16, and I think the game must be doing something freaky because Dominant Man's overtaken, axleized a couple times. It seems like there's some confusion going on, so I think the game is spazzing out right now. I'm not sure that 5-second penalty will stand.
Yeah, I believe they might be lapped cars. So the game might be freaking out.
All right. Well, obviously, seems like we have some technical issues here with the video game, but that's okay. As long as Axelize understands that 5-second time penalty probably not going to stand, we've got ourselves a race. He's going to have 1 lap younger tires, but not sure that'll make too much of a difference. Really, the difference in the tires came through simple management. Axelized, as you were saying, on the softs, much better at managing the tires. Maybe that was because he was happy to stay behind Buzzgod and didn't have to push as hard in P2 as Buzzgod did in P1.
Yeah, and the safety car laps will help with the tires because the cars are driving at a much slower pace, not nowhere near as much wear as racing laps.
Well, you know Toto Rivas is trying to get those lap cars out of the way for Raz right now, sitting in P3.
Oh
He's
yeah, he must
probably
be having a chat with the race director.
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm really excited to see Buzzgod and Axelize duke it out here. I think these guys are. I think they're gonna do a similar thing. I think they're gonna try and get away, and I think then it's just gonna be them two duking it out. But we'll see.
Well, interestingly, guys, we've got Nux up to P7 on fresh set of mediums. He does have the penalty. It's just a 3-second penalty. For someone who had an absolutely ruinous start to his race, he now back up to P7. He's gonna get up to P6 with OG having to do a drive-through. He can't believe his luck, right, with the safety car timing.
Yeah, she's definitely driving a recovery race after that early spin we saw, and she smacked the wall. But definitely a great job. I know she's a great racer. She races hard. She gets her elbows out. So definitely interesting to see what she can do here. Because there's a couple of drivers, obviously, like you said, quite a few actually with safety with penalties in front of her as well. So
Also, safety car in this lap.
Yes, it is.
Buzzgod pacing the field.
And Raz awkwardly, he's got some cars between him. We got Yuki Tsunoda with a time penalty for making contact. We're on board with Axelized. Buzzgod's going to maintain the lead. It's always awkward to a safety car restart here in Brazil. Buffalo Trace speeding in the pit lane, 5 seconds for him. But really, it's all about who's out in front here, Buzzgod or Axelized. Will they be saving the battery like they did in the first stint? I don't think so. Meanwhile, Raz in the Aston Martin is just behind the two of them. Sort of ghosting Cushy there.
He's trying to snake through Cushy and forgive me, I can't see who the other. I think it's Dominant Man. Yes, he's trying to snake through their battle. Obviously, they're fighting for position, so they shouldn't give way, and they're ghosted. But it's always tricky as a driver. You hate that when you have to drive around ghost drivers. It's pretty frustrating.
It is.
Yeah,
It
really
throws you
frustrating.
off.
You can miss your breaking points, and it's a mess.
Absolutely, Sid is. But Raz is very close to Axelize here. Actually, he's made up a ton of time. He's used also some of his battery, but Axelize is too far away to get DRS. Of course, it isn't activated yet, but he's going to be ready. Raz is pushing the limit, catching up to Axelize here, going for P2 at the moment.
Yeah, Raz is going to have to push harder because he has that penalty, so he'll have to gap the cars behind him in order to keep that podium place. So
Very true. OG yet to serve his drive-through. We got a yellow in Sector 2. It's an Alpine. I believe it's Dahlman, man.
Yep.
He's hit the wall again and lost the entire wing.
definitely a race weekend to forget.
Meanwhile, Marino pits for fresh softs. Interesting strategy.
I wonder when OG is going to come in to serve his drive-through.
Yeah, he's only got another lap or two to do so. Meanwhile, Buzzgod putting a little bit more distance, a couple more tenths between him and Axelized. If Axelized thought he had the pace on softs, he has yet to prove that he's got the pace on mediums.
Interestingly enough, I'm seeing KSEB up here in P4 on 10 lap old mediums. That's going to be a little bit of a struggle to make those go the rest of the way. He's going to have to put like 22 laps on those as Nux goes around the inside of Slovene there for P5. Great move. But yeah, KSEB going to have to stretch. Definitely.
Yeah, Nux
22
up to
laps
P5.
should be possible.
Slovene goes off the track a little bit, getting a little wild. That's going to give Flosi the chance. Flosi has already made up a couple of places since the safety car restart. Looking for more here, just a few tenths behind Slovene.
On the faster tire.
Oh, and my goodness, some interesting lines through there. And almost losing it is Flosi. So not going to get the overtake done. I don't think so, but actually it's going to put Siggy in a position where he's going to think about a move on Flosi, but they've all got DRS.
Yep.
Siggy getting real close to the back of the Haas.
It's interesting to see Slovene kind of get out of the rhythm from the pass from Nux, and then that affected Flosi, who got out of rhythm, catching Slovene at a weird time too. So,
Meanwhile, the McLarens, not sure if they're battling or not. Barney was right up on the gearbox of Kyle Desmond, his teammate, in P11. Not sure if we have some team orders going on here. Unless Kyle Desmond's actually going to pick up a 3-second time penalty, so maybe that changes the calculus as to who should be leading between the two of the teammates.
so maybe we could jump on board with Raz here again. He's in DRS range. He's dumping the battery. Axelized is not. He might be thinking about a pass here. Axelized going to block the inside. Nope. Raz going to go around the inside. Axelized going to give the room. Axelized is keeping his nose in there.
That's going off track a bit and a little bit of contact. And it's Axelize who's kept the place and he's got the RS. So all that battery dump for Raz, he seems like he does have a little bit of pace. But what's really interesting is all that fighting, and Buzzgod puts a couple more tenths between him and the two fighting for P2.
Yeah, this is playing right into the hands of the Red Bull team.
Well, you have to imagine, we were seeing that kind of strange strategy of people not passing each other on DRS straights. Be interesting to see if Axelize and Raz maybe work together here, find out who's the faster driver to pull them along and try and catch Buzzgod.
Yeah, I believe that strategy is not in their minds right now. They're just battling for position.
Absolutely.
Dumping all their battery.
When you have a little
Did he-
contact between the car in front of you, I don't think working together is even in your mindset, right, Sid?
Right, and we can see the red light flashing on the back of the Ferrari. So they're both dumping their batteries, trying to keep position.
Yeah, Raz thought about it, didn't make the move. Didn't look like he had quite enough space. He's
Once
dumping
again,
everything.
everything. Yeah, 0% battery.
It's around the
Going down the
inside.
inside.
Ooh.
Nice move.
He's got the move done, and now both of them have no battery to speak of. It's Raz's chance now to show that he's got some pace. Slightly older tires, but might be negligible at this point, especially under the safety car. So, can Raz put a little bit of a gap between him and Axelized? He's got Sector 2 to back him up. But we'll see. And now Axelized is going to be the one with DRS and on the attack against Raz. Axelized starts to use a battery, thinks better of it. DRS activated here. It's going to get real close to him, but not quite.
Yeah, if Axelize wants to make moves for that first place, he needs to get past Raz and create a gap, because this fighting is not helping either of them.
I mean, to be honest, this position really doesn't matter. Raz with 11 seconds, Axelized with nothing. I mean, I know it's hard to. He's a racer. He wants to get around Raz, but there's really no reason to pass Raz unless you're faster than him.
Well, he was hoping for a win here and to beat out Buzzgod, but if Raz is going to be in his way, it's just not going to happen here today. As Flosi up to P5, gets by K-Seb. On the soft tires, Flosi is making his way through the field.
Yeah, and K-Seb on those 14-lap old mediums, I bet they're not feeling good right now. There might be some vibrations coming into the steering wheel and some rear end stepping out during traction.
Meanwhile, also fresher soft, Sargento de Paz, he's going to try to uses all the track and gets a penalty, and more of the track, I should say, but he's up to P7, right around Slovene.
Yeah, not sure if that was worth getting the penalty for that pass.
Certainly was not, and he took a bad line through Sector 1. He's going to get passed by several drivers. Oh, it's a disaster. Back up front we go, on board with Axelized.
So just having a peek here at all of the penalties. I mean, we don't really know too much about Buzzgod's penalty, that 5-second he got. Right now, Axelized is technically winning the race with the way they're going to finish. So, and everyone pretty much P4 back is pretty close. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the penalties play out here.
I'm pretty sure Buzzgod is going to get his 5 seconds removed, because that might have been a weird incident under the safety car.
Yeah, I think you might be right, but you never know, right?
True. The stewards could decide otherwise.
Well, we've got deja vu for Axelized, just 4/10 behind Raz. Through the first DRS zone, Sargento de Paz speeding in the pit lane. Race went from bad to worse there. But the positions have started to solidify, except for a few places. I mean, we've basically got the order, barring some serious pace from a driver or two, and something like resembling a crash, as Raz dipped his tire into the grass there. He's all over the place at the moment. We definitely do not want to be driving on the grass here in Brazil.
As the Haas switch positions, Flosi on the faster tire is led by.
What was that? A bit of team orders there, Sid? Nux, she almost spun around.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were definitely team orders, trying to get most points for the team.
Oh, and Axelized right on the gearbox of Raz. Raz maybe feeling a bit of pressure.
Nux actually entered the pits.
Oh,
Ooh.
might be some damage.
No, I'm not seeing any damage. Going on to the softs?
Fastest lap point, maybe. That's what's in their mind. I'm not sure.
It's a strange.
She was in 6th.
Yeah, that is not the most strategic decision there, I'll say, but it is a decision that has been made.
We might get an insight from the Haas crew in a bit.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing any damage come up on the telemetry, so she didn't change her wing.
Axelai is starting to rebuild the battery, and you've got to still have some hope for him because Buzzcott has not really pulled away. He's only 1.9 seconds ahead of Raz, but you're starting to run out of laps here for Axelai to try and take P1. Meanwhile, down in P7, it's Slovene, who has gotten within DRS range of Siggy. Looks like he's been using a lot of battery to get there. Siggy also has been using his battery, so it's a straight battle between these two. Similar age of the tires. Who's got more pace?
Yeah, so I just had a word with the Haas crew, and it was a driver decision to come into the pits. The driver felt like the car had some damage, so she decided to pit, but they didn't change her front wing.
Well, maybe the tires just felt bad and it didn't really feel like a drivable car with the age of those tires. I'm not sure. Nonetheless, she's down to P10 Nux, but potential to overtake OG, who is up to P9. Still a decent recovery drive for OG, all things considered. Axelai is still unable to get around Raz. And has he resigned himself here to P2?
But you got to think Axelized in the driver's seat. He might not know that Buzzgod's penalty might not stick. So he's thinking right now he's golden. You know, he's keeping within that 5-second range, and he thinks he's won this race. Maybe he has too.
It's a really good point, Jack. As Nux is going to look to get past Barney. Barney currently controlled by the computer.
Yeah, Barney has disconnected from the session.
So the line still yet to be able to challenge Siggy for P6. And again, in Sector 2, he has lost a ton of time. Actually, out of DRS range, maybe, as they come around, almost losing it. The back end, not sticking. I'm not sure he's going to get DRS here. He won't.
No, he's not.
So draining the battery to get back in range, Sid.
Yeah, that final corner is really crucial. That's where you can... That's what decides if you can make that pass or if you're left out of DRS.
Meanwhile, back up to Axelized, trying to stick as close as he can through Sector 2, but ultimately Raz putting a little bit more distance every corner here, which just makes it more and more difficult to get past in the DRS zones.
Yeah, Axel is saving a bit of his battery, over 50%, while Raz is flashing his red light, so which means he's under 10%.
Buzzcott has dropped back to 1.5 seconds out in front of Raz, but he's got plenty of battery, so it seems like he's just taking it easy. I think you might be right. Axelized might not know that the time penalty may come off here.
Yeah, Buzzcott is pretty comfortable right now. 60% battery, and last lap, another lap after this. He's in a good position right now.
And Raz went defensive there in the DRS zone, had to do so to prevent Axelize from making the move. Axelize used some of his battery to try and do it, but good defensive positioning of the car there from Raz.
Yeah, throughout this whole race, Raz has really been positioning his car very well. It's kind of keeping it in the way so the driver behind really can't do anything. As I think we're going to come around here, and Buzzgod's going to start his final lap.
Absolutely. I'm pretty confident in my prediction now that he would lead basically the whole race. Axelized is getting past Raz. Little dust kicked up there, a little dirt, but he's got P2. Can he hang on? Using all the battery. He can. So he just wants to finish in P2 on track, and he's going to be able to do that, I believe. So a solid race from Axelize. Very, very well done. No penalties whatsoever. He's going to finish about 3 seconds behind Buzzgod, which is maybe not what he wanted, but still an excellent race for the Ferrari.
Only driver in the top 5 to finish without a penalty. Flossie up there in P4. Pretty good drive from him.
Absolutely. The Haas getting a lot of points. Buzzgod, he's going to come around. He's going to take the victory here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. It's Buzzgod who wins the race. Or does he? We're not sure if that 5-second time penalty is going to come off. It's Axelized who gets P1 on the standings chart. Raz, E3. Flossie comes through in P4, but K-Seb with fewer penalties. Half a second difference between them. The AlphaTauri nicks the place.
Yeah, it's up to the stewards now to decide who gets the race win. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube so we can update you on who wins this race.
Yeah, great idea, Sid. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you appreciate the broadcast. We appreciate you watching. And either way, Axelized and Buzzgod, a great battle all throughout. What a drive from those two. They fought through difficult conditions, a safety car, wheel-to-wheel battling. Driver of the day is OG, probably deserved. What a roller coaster of a race.
He's definitely my driver of the day, for sure.
So,
P18 to P7, I think. That's a pretty good drive.
Absolutely. I think he made up the most places other than maybe, I don't know where Flossie started at, ended in P5. Great drive from Flossie as well. So a couple of drivers making up a lot of places to get some good points for the teams. I wonder if we have time for some interviews.
yeah, we got Raz here.
Yeah.
I can drag him in here right now. He just showed up.
Yep, we have the top 3 finishers.
All right, let me get Raz in here then. Hey, Raz.
Hello.
How's it going, buddy? Congratulations on P3. How was the race? Walk us through your race. How'd it go?
I don't really have the best start. I forgot to pick a strategy. So yeah. So that's why I was struggling to keep with Buzzgod and Axelized. Pitted, and yeah, just kept it with Axelized. Hopefully, clean racing. Yeah.
No, yeah, everything looked really good. I have to say you did a really good job defending all day, putting that car exactly where it needed to be to make sure you secured that P3. So congratulations, man.
Cheers.
Yeah, congratulations. Awesome drive today.
Cheers. Thank you.
All right, and now we're gonna bring in. Well, I guess we bring in. I'll probably bring in Axelized, right? We kind of assume that that penalty is going to be taken off, unless I'm mistaken, Jack.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. We'll bring in Axelize, sure. Axelize. Go ahead, Lee.
I was just going to say, welcome, Axelize. Great race. You finished P1 on the charts. Did you have any conception at all about the 5-second time penalty that BuzzGod had? Do you think that's staying, or were you confident that that's going to stay or come off? What's your read on that?
Yeah, I mean, I just was talking to him about it, and it's probably gonna come off. It was a game bug anyway, and I'm not too concerned if it comes off when it comes off, not if it comes off when it comes off, because I'll still be ahead maybe by 1 point, but I'm ahead now by 1 point, so it doesn't really make a difference for me.
Well, it was a great race nonetheless. I don't know if Sid has any questions for you, but a great race. Walk us through your race. You were the only one really, unless you count BuzzGod's 5 seconds, to not get a penalty up there in the top spots. Phenomenal pace from you and the right strategy, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the first part of the race, I wasn't even enabling DRS at times. I was letting off the throttle at times too, just to stay behind BuzzGod, so I could just charge up and sit back there and relax for a little bit and get into the rhythm, and it worked fine. Stayed out an extra lap, which didn't make too much of a difference. He did get the undercut, but I was within DRS range when the safety car came out. So then a lot of stuff happened there, obviously, that you guys already mentioned, and then from there it was just fighting back with Raz, and the strategy worked out thanks to my NVA. He had a good strategy for recharging that ERS and giving it one final blast at the end, and it worked out, though I'm not sure why he wanted to fight till the end with 14 seconds, but it worked out, thankfully, so not complaining.
All right, that was a great race from you, and congratulations on P2 or P1 as it may be. Looking forward to next week. Do you like Japan?
Obviously everyone knows the tracks. The track itself is kind of tricky physically with the curbs, and that'll obviously be something to watch out for, but we'll see how it goes.
All right, once again, congratulations, and we'll see you next week, hopefully in the top 3 again.
Yeah, thank you guys.
See ya.
All right, Jack, you want to bring in BuzzGod for us? I mean, I guess we can assume now that he's the race winner if Axelize just said what he said, right?
Yeah, I guess so, but we'll see how things play out. BuzzGod.
Yeah.
What's going on, buddy? Congratulations on P2, P1. We don't really know yet, but by the sound of things, we think you're going to get that 5-second penalty cleared. So walk us through that race. How was it? It seemed like you were pretty under control the whole race, but how'd it go?
Yep, it was just me and Axelize just chilling. He didn't want to overtake me. We was just going to wait till like the end. And then I undercut him just to get out of the DRS, and then a safety car came out. And Dominman was trying to unlap himself, I believe. He went in front of me, then he went back, which made me overtake him. And it said I have to give him the position back, but I couldn't because he went like 5 positions back. So it gave me the 5 seconds. But that should get overthrown anyway. And then yeah, from that point onwards, it was just driving. There was nothing special to it.
We definitely did notice the weird thing going on during under the safety car, so hopefully you do get that cleared. But great drive, man. Just having a peek here at the standings. You were 4th, kind of looking into 3rd on, so this is a really good points day for you as well. You're sort of going to be right back up there in terms of the championship battle.
Yep. I think Axelize is still going to be ahead by like 4 points maybe. But I should be 2nd, I'm pretty sure, in the standings.
Yeah, this gets you right back into the battle of the championship.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Good job, man. I believe this is your first race win in ZRL.
Yeah, it is. And then maybe like the youngest race winner. I'm not sure how young people were in the season 1, but I'm 17. I'm not sure if someone younger has won a race before. So
Yeah, so you might be the youngest winner in ZRL. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Huge day, BuzzGod. Congrats again to all the drivers. What a race. I appreciate everyone tuning in. This has been the Zoom Racing League Division 3. Stay tuned for more action. We've got Division 2 coming up, and of course, Division 1 tomorrow on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So tune in and watch the best racers go at it in Division 2 and Division 3. Any final thoughts, Jack and Sid, for our viewers?
Yeah, definitely make sure to tune into D2. There's going to be some firecrackers up at the top. It's going to be an exciting race.
Yeah, super excited to see. Pretty much the standings just got closer than ever before, really. So I'm really excited to see how these D3 drivers do next week.
All right. Thank you both for being with us today, and all of you viewers at home. Of course, follow D3 as well next week, same time, same place. This is the Zoom Racing League. I'm Lee Hall, your host. See you next time.